On this episode, we're going to see how we fitted the uprated seat to my 2012 VW Touareg. Hi, I'm Dan, and welcome to Dan & Cars. The VW Touareg of this generation comes with two main options of seats. This is the base spec version. It's electrically heated, but it's mechanically adjusted, and is fairly flat and unsupportive. The differences between the base spec seat and the improved seat aren't overly obvious apart from these buttons here. There's a lot more support here, here, and on the front on the uprated seat. I've had this Touareg for coming up to 4 years now, and I absolutely love it. The only thing is, when I bought it, it came with the base spec seat that we saw at the start of the video. About a year ago, I bought the improved seat from my Touareg that was being broken and made a small loom up and installed it into the car. That's what it's installed now. I had some questions from people asking about the install, so I thought I'd create this short video just explaining how to remove and install the seats and how I created my loom to save some people some time if they want to do it themselves. The tools required: you will need a torque wrench suitable for 50 Newton meters, a ratchet to speed things up, an extension, an M10 triple square bit, or, if you're careful, a T50 Torx bit. There are 4 bolts on the seat rail in total. To access the front bolts, move the seat all the way back and use your M10 triple square to loosen the bolts off. I leave the bolts still in place when moving the seat forward to access the rear bolts. To access the rear bolts, move the seat all the way forwards. With the 4 bolts removed, move the seat all the way to the rear position with the back of the seat all the way forward to give you the most room if you need to remove, and then tip the seat back. The plug that we'll need to modify is this one here. So here is how my car is currently. On the right hand side you can see the 2 plugs for the airbag and the driver presence, and this is the plug for the heated seats and obviously the movable seat when it's present. Now, for these 2 connectors here, as my car is a base spec car, it doesn't have the pins required to move the seat. It doesn't have the power section for them. They're just not there on the right hand side. So where these wires would connect, I've added this plug in here. I'll quickly run you through the way I created my loom, but obviously use whichever way is most safe and suitable for you. As this is fused to 25 amp on cars that are fitted with the electric movable seats, I've copied that for the spec of this loom here. I've used a Deutsch plug for this end. You can use whichever plug you want that's suitable for that amperage, but I'd suggest having a plug there in case you want to remove the seat. On the other end of the loom, we've got our earth and our piggyback terminal for connecting to the Fusebox on the right hand side of the car. It's a bit tricky to get this all in shot, so sorry about that. But for this end, we've used a standard piggyback connector fused to 25 amp and then an earth that I had lying around. I've then used AWG12 pins for the Deutsch plug, but again, use whichever plug you're comfortable using for this application. And then it's good to have a multimeter when you're doing these sort of things to make sure you've got good continuity across the connection and to make sure you've got 12 volt where you should be having 12 volt. To route our harness neatly, we're going to need to lift this bit of plastic here. You don't need to completely remove it, just unclip it from the underneath. I find it's easiest if you remove this silver section as well while you're at it. Use this tool to make a bit of space underneath, and you can gently pull these trim clips away. These clip directly into the body underneath. Using suitable trim tools, remove this cover from the fuse box. This won't be the easiest thing to film, so sorry about that. What we're going to try and do though is stuff the wire down the back right hand side of the fuse box and tuck it down and under here, coming out about here, so we can then put it underneath the carpet. Once you've got the wire up and through the carpet here, you can tuck it underneath this seat mount here. And have it ready to put the plug housing on when you're ready. Choose an empty and suitably rated position to plug in your piggyback connector. And then I earthed using this stud up here. When you refit this, make sure any cables, harnesses or looms you have are tucked so they're neatly underneath, but they're not interfering with the clips just here. You can feel where the clips are, the holes should go. You feel underneath here. You may need to move the plastic slightly in. Ensure the looms are in the right place. Make sure you've got this rubber seal, the right side of this, and then gently but firmly push this back into position. This is quite a satisfying bit to refit. Once you've got all the electrical stuff tidied up, you can then put the seat into the correct position. So as you lay this down, you can see this quite far out. There's dowels at the rear section. You need to make sure are in the correct position when you put the seat back down. Once you've realigned this back into place, push it firmly in, give it a whack, and make sure it's good all the way around. Thank you for making your way to the end of this video. If you have any questions about how anything was done, or any better ways of doing things, or any shortcuts, please feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you.